Diaphragmatic breathing is a critical component of having a healthy, sustainable singing voice. Let's explore how to do it, what it feels like, and how you can implement it on your vocal journey. What's good, y'all? My name is Sel Wilson. I am a vocal coach and the owner of Keys for Life LLC. And today I want to talk about breathing. Now, if you would like any additional help or assistance with the concepts that we talk about today, you can sign up for a free vocal assessment on my website. But first, let's just describe what it feels like. When I'm talking about this with my private students, oftentimes we describe it as a good, healthy breath. The easiest way to conceptualize this is if you take your hands and put them on your waist. Where your thumbs start connecting to your back is where you're going to feel a lot of the air going towards. We don't necessarily want to feel our air going up into our shoulders as if we're bracing for an impact or if we're suddenly shocked or nervous about something. That's going to create a lot of tension, and tension is going to be our biggest enemy when it comes to creating a healthy, sustainable singing voice. So again, we're looking for our air to go down into our diaphragm where we're feeling the entire midsection expand. Let's begin this with taking a big deep breath in. Fill up your lungs as much as you possibly can. Good, and let's try to hold that air right there. Take a sip of air in. Good, take another sip. Take another sip. And if you can, take one more sip of air in. Notice how it feels like you are holding so much air if you're taking in that much. Your lungs are now being filled up all the way to 100%. When we're singing, we do not want to fill up our lungs that much. That is a lot of air to manage, and it's very, very challenging to regulate that air if we're just holding on to it the whole time. We want to shoot for filling up our lungs to about 80% of their capacity. So again, same thing as before, we're going to put our hands on our waist. And again, where those thumbs are connecting to the back is where we're going to feel a lot of the air going. We don't want to feel our air going up into our shoulders, up into our chest, in the neck area. We're specifically wanting to send the air down into our belly. Let's try that exercise again, and let's only fill our lungs up to about 80. I'm going to have you take a comfortable breath in, so just a little bit of air, and then we'll sip just the same as what we did before to fill our lungs up to about 80%. Good, where it's very, very comfortable, very easy to manage. Let's take a sip of air in. Good, take another sip, and maybe take one more sip of air in. At this point, it should feel very comfortable for you. You should not necessarily feel like you are holding on to a lot of air. It should feel very, very manageable. Again, that's letting you know that you have a healthy amount of air. You're filling your lungs up to about 80% of their volume, and you are ready to support your singing voice. Now, ideally, as we're exhaling, we also don't want to go to that extreme. We only want to get down to about 20% of our lungs capacity. The best way to understand that when you are finishing a sentence, you probably have a little bit of air left over, but you're also noticing that you should probably take a breath soon after you finish that sentence. It's a good, healthy amount of air that's been pushed out of your body, but it's not so much that you are needing to gasp and pull in as much air as you can to refill those lungs as quickly as you possibly can. Or when you try to talk, you can't say anything. And then you're gasping for air after that. That's going all the way down to zero. You feel a lot of contraction, a lot of squeezing, a lot of pushing from the diaphragm just to get you there. We do not want to go all the way down to zero when we're pushing our air out and exhaling as we're singing. That causes a lot of extra tension and a lot of unwanted muscles to activate and support the body in the ways that we don't really need. And we're not necessarily searching for the body to do anything extra as we're trying to sing. We're just want to keep things very mild, very calm, very manageable. Now, in general, when you're singing, you probably will not be taking those full deep breaths in all the way up to 80% all of the time. Most commonly, the kind of breaths that you'll take are the ones that where you're sipping, like we did at the earlier exercise. Those tiny little moments where you take sips of air in are going to help make sure that you have enough air to finish out your phrases, that you can continue singing through your song, and that you're not going to be dropping down into that danger zone of the 20%. Most of the breathing that you do throughout your music should fill you back up to about 70 to 50% of your lung capacity. And it should feel like you are kind of just getting those little boosts. Those little sips of air will be really beneficial for you as you're going through your music. And maybe you'll need to take a whole big deep breath, but you just need a little bit of extra air to make sure that you have enough to finish out a longer held note or maybe finish out a longer run. So let's explore all this in the context of a song. If you would like to warm your voice up before this next segment and do these exercises along with me, you can visit my website and get access to a 10-minute vocal warm-up for both masculine of center and feminine of center voices. It's 100% free and it's tailored to help clear out a lot of the congestion that we usually get around this time of year. So hit that link and then come right back to this video. Hey, girl. Come on, girl. You better sing your ass off. Yes, I am going to have you sing this. I believe that you can do it. And I trust that with the healthy breathing that we just learned how to do, you can be successful in this exercise. So let's kind of break some of this down. Where are the moments that you actually hear her taking the shorter, smaller breaths? Where is she taking the sips of air? Where are the moments that you hear her taking bigger inhales to fill all the way back up to 80%? We're wanting to take a big, solid breath at the very beginning to start your phrase off. That's what you hear when she says, y'all ready? We're going to fill those lungs up all the way to 80%. This is going to be a slower, more controlled breath in. Again, we're not shooting for the gasp of air as if you are excited or if someone shocked you. We're not shooting for, and you start to see some tension pop out in the neck. Again, we're controlling the air. We're bringing it down into the diaphragm. You're doing a slow, controlled breath to breathe and fill those lungs up to about 80%. And then we'll begin singing through the exercise. From there, she then only takes those small little breaths in between larger chunks or larger sections of this riff. Now, throughout the phrase, you will take those sips of air that we mentioned before. They should be filling your lungs up back to about 50 to 70%. Again, we're not shooting to go all the way back up to 80 because that's just to start us off and get us a good launch into the song. If you do feel that you may need to get all the way up to 80, by all means, do so. But most of you should be able to feel comfortable and be able to be successful getting through about 50 to 70% of your lungs volume. So I hope that you found this video helpful. I am a private vocal coach and I also teach piano, I teach songwriting. And again, if you would like to sign up for that free vocal assessment, just visit my website and go to the booking page. It'll give you an opportunity to fill out a quick form that takes less than 20 seconds. And from there, I'll be able to provide some personalized support to help you on your vocal journey. As always, heal, forgive, love. See y'all soon. Bye.